Have you ever wondered what separates ordinary wealth from a legacy that lasts forever? Imagine comparing the most successful entrepreneurs today, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, with a companion of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who lived over 1400 years ago. Could a man in 7th century Arabia possess wealth, influence, and generosity that even the richest today would admire? This was the life of Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu, a man whose fortune was immense, yet whose humility, devotion, and service to others made him one of the most revered companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Some scholars estimate that his wealth, if adjusted for today's value, would rival the wealth of modern billionaires. But unlike contemporary tycoons, he never hoarded wealth for personal ego or fame. Instead, his riches were a tool to support Islam, help the needy, and create a lasting legacy of faith, generosity, and trust. Ask yourself this question. If Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu were alive today, would he be more influential than Bill Gates or Elon Musk, not for technology or business, but for shaping hearts, morals, and communities? This is not a story about wealth alone. It is a story of faith, purpose, and ethical leadership, a life where every decision reflected spiritual and moral excellence. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu was born into one of Mecca's wealthiest families, the Banu Zuhra clan. From his early childhood, he displayed intelligence, curiosity, and strong observation skills. He learned the art of trade, negotiation, and leadership in the bustling markets of Mecca, yet even surrounded by abundance, his heart remained humble. When Islam reached Mecca, the lives of young companions like Abdul Rahman radiyallahu anhu changed forever. They faced a choice between staying in comfort with their family and society or embracing a faith that demanded sacrifice, courage, and moral integrity. Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu chose faith, even though it meant facing opposition, risking personal safety, and challenging the elite of Quraysh.
After a few years.
Imagine a young man with immense wealth and family support, choosing conscience and faith over comfort and prestige. In today's terms, it would be like a billionaire heir leaving his empire behind to follow a moral calling that challenges the norms of society. This decision shaped the course of his life, and ultimately the lives of countless people around him.
Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu grew up witnessing both privilege and societal pressure. He belonged to a family known for trade, wealth, and social influence. He saw firsthand the disparities in society, the struggles of the poor, and the value of ethical leadership. When he embraced Islam, the Quraysh elite mocked him and tried to dissuade him from leaving their fold. Many warned him about the consequences of abandoning family traditions and social comfort. Yet he remained steadfast. He understood that wealth without moral and spiritual purpose is empty, and he realized that true legacy comes from service, generosity, and ethical leadership, not possessions alone. Even as a new Muslim in Makkah, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf began contributing to the community, lending to the needy, supporting fellow Muslims financially, ensuring that the early Muslim community had the resources to survive. His generosity was sincere, humble, and strategic. He did not seek recognition or praise. He sought to fulfill his duty as a servant of Allah and a supporter of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Let's put this in perspective. Modern entrepreneurs like Gates and Musk innovate and influence billions through technology. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf influenced millions of lives through ethical leadership, generosity, and faith. While wealth today can create global empires, his wealth created spiritual and social empires rooted in humility, integrity, and service. Emotionally, his journey reflects timeless lessons. Patience amidst pressure builds character. Generosity and service create trust and loyalty. Faith and moral courage guide decisions even in uncertainty. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf became a model for all Muslims, a man whose fortune was a trust from Allah to be used wisely and compassionately for the good of society and the advancement of Islam.
By the end of part 1, we see a young man poised at a crossroads. He had wealth, comfort, and social standing. He had faith calling him to service, sacrifice, and moral excellence. He had a vision of legacy not measured by money but by impact on humanity. This is where the journey begins, a journey that would define his life as one of the most honorable, generous, and respected companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Have you ever considered what it means to leave everything behind? Your home, your wealth, your comfort, for the sake of faith? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf, radiallahu anhu, faced precisely this challenge when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, instructed the Muslims to migrate from Mecca to Medina. Imagine having immense wealth, influence, and security in your homeland, and choosing exile into uncertainty, hardship, and danger. How many of us today could make such a decision without hesitation? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf, radiallahu anhu, did not merely survive the hijrah, he transformed it into an opportunity to serve Islam, support the Prophet, peace be upon him, and lay foundations for a community built on faith, generosity, and ethics. Ask yourself, if someone of his status lived today, leaving a multi-billion-dollar empire behind to follow moral and spiritual principles, could their impact surpass even the richest visionaries of our time? This was a test of character, courage, and faith, the kind of challenge that defines a true leader. The hijrah was not merely a migration, it was a spiritual, social, and economic revolution. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf, radiallahu anhu, meticulously prepared. He ensured his wealth was safeguarded yet accessible for the Muslim cause. He supported other migrants in planning, provision, and protection. He maintained trust and credibility among the early Muslim community. Even in a desert of uncertainty, his mind remained sharp and his heart focused on the greater purpose, pleasing Allah and serving his messenger, peace be upon him. The journey itself was arduous, traversing harsh deserts and mountains, avoiding hostile Quraysh patrols, carrying wealth and resources without attracting attention. Yet every step strengthened his faith, tested his patience, and revealed his resilience. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf, radiallahu anhu, showed that true success combines strategy, intelligence, and absolute trust in Allah. Even today, this example resonates. Risk-taking is meaningful when guided by principles. Leadership involves serving a purpose greater than oneself. Generosity, wisdom, and planning multiply the impact of resources. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf exemplified these qualities, demonstrating that material wealth gains eternal value when coupled with faith and ethical action.
Upon arriving in Medina, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu anhu encountered both opportunity and responsibility. He had to establish trust among the Ansar, residents of Medina, and fellow Muhajirin, migrants from Mecca. Balance personal wealth with the needs of the growing Muslim community. Support Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's mission in strategic and meaningful ways. Without hesitation, he became a cornerstone of early Islamic society, funding expeditions to defend the Muslim community, providing resources for the poor and needy, helping build infrastructure, including the mosque and marketplaces, strengthening both faith and economy. His generosity in Medina was legendary. He spent vast amounts to ensure the welfare of the community. He gave quietly, without seeking recognition. He became a model of ethical and responsible wealth. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, praised him for his dedication, wisdom, and humility. Emotionally, his transition to Medina taught profound lessons. Patience and perseverance in adversity build character. Wealth is a trust from Allah, meant to serve humanity. True leadership combines moral courage, intelligence, and compassion. Every contribution, every act of generosity, and every strategic decision reinforced his reputation as a man of integrity and faith. Consider this comparison respectfully. Modern entrepreneurs like Bill Gates or Elon Musk innovate and influence millions with technology. Hazrat Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu influenced millions of lives through faith, moral leadership, and charitable works. While the modern world measures success in dollars and followers, he measured it in deeds, trust, and impact on society according to divine guidance. Even amidst wealth, he faced personal challenges, avoiding pride or arrogance, ensuring resources were distributed fairly, navigating community expectations without compromising faith. Hazrat Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu mastered these challenges through a combination of strategy, humility, and devotion. By the end of part 2, we see Hazrat Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu as a trusted leader among Muhajirin, a strategic supporter of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a model of faith, humility, and ethical generosity. From leaving Mecca to establishing influence in Medina, his life demonstrates that true legacy is measured not by wealth or status, but by how one uplifts others and serves the purpose of faith.
Have you ever considered what true courage looks like? Not just in battle, but in leadership and service. Hazrat Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu faced trials that tested every part of his character: courage, wisdom, and generosity. Imagine being a wealthy companion of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, expected to not only fight in battles, but also support an entire community through your resources and strategy. Could someone today, with billions at their disposal, match the combination of strategic influence, moral integrity, and generosity that he demonstrated? Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu participated in some of the most significant battles of early Islam. Battle of Badr, the defining moment for the Muslims against a stronger enemy. Battle of Uhud, demonstrating courage and steadfastness even under adversity. Battle of the Trench, Ahzab, supporting strategic planning and logistics. His contributions were not limited to the battlefield. His wealth was mobilized efficiently to support the Muslims, fund defensive strategies, and ensure that resources reached those in need. Think about this. While many companions fought with swords, Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu fought with a combination of courage, intelligence, and generosity. He understood that battles are won not only by strength, but by planning, trust, and resource management. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recognized his unique abilities. Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu is wealth in motion. His hands bring life and support wherever needed. His financial and strategic support was as crucial to the survival of the Muslim community as the bravery of those on the front lines. Outside of battles, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf became legendary for his unmatched generosity. He supported widows, orphans, and travelers. He donated to the poor quietly, ensuring dignity and respect for recipients. During the time of economic hardship, he funded community projects, mosques, and marketplaces. Imagine a man whose wealth could rival any billionaire today, yet who used every coin in service of faith and humanity. He did not flaunt his wealth. He simply ensured it multiplied goodness in the world. One famous example of his generosity occurred when a poor companion approached him for help. Abdul Rahman bin Auf gave him so generously that it allowed the man to rebuild his life completely without shame or indebtedness. He applied the principle that wealth is a trust from Allah, meant to be used ethically for social and spiritual benefit. Emotionally, this period of his life shows profound lessons for us today. Wealth is a responsibility, not for personal indulgence, but for serving humanity. Humility accompanies true success. He never let wealth define his character. Strategic generosity amplifies impact. Planning and thoughtfulness increase the effectiveness of giving. Abdul Rahman bin Auf became the benchmark for combining faith, courage, and wealth in a single life of service. Even today, reflecting on his life, we can draw comparisons with modern figures. Bill Gates builds systems for global development. Elon Musk creates technological innovations that impact millions. Abdul Rahman bin Auf built a system of moral, social, and spiritual infrastructure that benefited communities for generations. Yet his legacy surpasses material wealth because it touches hearts, builds character, and aligns with eternal values. His generosity extended even further, funding travelers across deserts, supporting newly converted Muslims who had no resources, building networks of trust and economic stability for the Muslim community. This is a level of giving that today's richest could admire, not only in scale, but in intention and impact. Emotionally, his life teaches true courage blends action, planning, and ethical conduct. Leadership is measured by service, not status. Generosity transforms communities when combined with wisdom. By the end of Part 3, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf emerges as a brave warrior in faith, a strategic supporter of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a legendary philanthropist whose ethical and consists of faith, courage, and wealth. Battles tested his bravery. Medina tested his leadership. Generosity tested his humility and strategic thinking. And through all of it, his heart remained dedicated to Allah and his messenger, peace be upon him.
Have you ever wondered what separates ordinary traders from legends whose wealth becomes a force for change? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu was not only a companion of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, but also a masterful businessman whose acumen transformed Meccan commerce and empowered the early Muslim community. Imagine a young man whose intelligence, patience, and strategic foresight allowed him to multiply resources while maintaining ethical principles. Could we compare his skills with modern business leaders, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Elon Musk, while respecting the spiritual dimension of his legacy? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu did not seek fame. He understood that wealth is a trust from Allah, SWT, and is most valuable when it serves humanity and faith. Even after migrating to Medina, he skillfully managed trade caravans, buying goods in Mecca and selling them in distant markets, ensuring fair trade and ethical dealings, supporting companions and the community financially. Unlike many modern tycoons who chase profit alone, his transactions were deeply rooted in honesty, fairness, and accountability to Allah. Ask yourself, how many of today's billionaires combine wealth, moral integrity, and the betterment of society with such devotion? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu expanded his business strategically. He formed networks with trustworthy merchants across the Arabian Peninsula. He invested in livestock, agriculture, and trade routes. He reinvested profits not just for personal gain, but for supporting Islam and the community. Even Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, praised his efforts, highlighting that Abdul Rahman's wealth was not vanity, it was wealth in motion for the sake of Allah.
What truly sets Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu apart is how he used wealth as a means to empower others. He funded expeditions for Islam. He supported widows, orphans, and the poor quietly. He provided strategic assistance to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and early Muslims. Even today, his approach offers a profound lesson. Wealth without purpose is temporary. Wealth with wisdom and generosity becomes eternal. He once donated such a large sum for community welfare that it astonished the companions. His wealth was not counted merely in coins, but in the lives uplifted, the families supported, and the faith strengthened. Consider this. Modern business leaders often aim to leave a legacy through technology, philanthropy, or innovation. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu created a legacy that intertwined economic, social, and spiritual impact, a combination rarely seen in any age. His ethical approach to wealth ensured fairness in all dealings, sustained support for Islam and community, a reputation that inspired trust and loyalty. Even enemies admired his wisdom and integrity.
Emotionally, his life demonstrates the balance between material success and spiritual fulfillment. He never let wealth corrupt his heart. He remained humble despite increasing fortune. He measured success by impact, not ego or social recognition. This is why scholars compare his life to modern moguls, not in terms of technology or global reach, but in vision, strategy, and societal influence, with the added dimension of faith and humility. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu also ensured that wealth supported strategic initiatives, funding education and knowledge dissemination, investing in markets that strengthened the Muslim economy, supporting families affected by conflict or migration. Through these actions, he created an enduring system where wealth served multiple purposes: survival, growth, and faith. By the end of part 4, we see Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu as a master strategist in trade and finance, a philanthropist whose generosity was unmatched, a companion whose influence shaped the early Muslim community. From Mecca to Medina, his life reflects a timeless principle. True wealth is measured not by accumulation, but by the lives it touches and the principles it upholds.
Have you ever wondered what it truly means to leave a legacy that endures centuries? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu did not only participate in battles and build wealth, he transformed society through strategic generosity, ethical leadership, and unwavering faith in Allah. Imagine a man whose contributions could rival the scale of modern billionaires, not through technology, but by uplifting communities, funding justice, and spreading knowledge. Could anyone today combine faith, influence, and wealth with such humility and wisdom? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu became legendary during the Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, era. His wealth supported military expeditions defending Islam. He funded social programs, helping widows, orphans, and the poor. He created economic systems that strengthened Medina's markets and self-sufficiency. Even adversaries admired him, recognizing that his influence extended beyond material power. It was ethical, spiritual, and transformational. His story asks a reflective question. What would happen if every modern billionaire applied wealth with the same integrity, humility, and purpose as Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu? The result would not just be prosperity, it would be enduring justice, moral guidance, and social cohesion.
Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu participated actively in the major battles alongside the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Battle of Badr demonstrated courage and financial support. Battle of Uhud maintained steadfastness despite challenges. Battle of the Trench, Azab, contributed strategically, ensuring community survival. Beyond the battlefield, his generosity reached unprecedented heights, funding marriages for the poor to strengthen family bonds, supporting travelers and refugees from Mecca, providing loans and resources for communal projects without expectation of repayment. Emotionally, his life illustrates the balance of faith, courage, and compassion. Courage in battle and personal trials, faith in Allah guiding every decision, compassion through consistent, thoughtful charity. Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu became an example for companions and future generations. He showed that wealth is a trust, not a privilege. He proved that leadership is service. He illustrated that true courage combines action, planning, and faith. Even in his final years, his dedication did not waver. He continued investing in community welfare. He ensured that no needy person in Medina was left unsupported. He remained humble despite immense wealth. This is why scholars regard him as one of the greatest companions, not just for wealth or bravery, but for ethical influence and spiritual legacy. Think about this respectfully. Modern philanthropists are admired for charity, yet Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu set a timeless benchmark where charity, faith, and strategy coexisted perfectly. His life teaches that ethical wealth management is more impactful than mere accumulation. Through his actions, he created a model of prosperity where every coin had purpose, every effort had moral and spiritual impact, every decision reflected the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
By the end of part 5, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu emerges as a courageous warrior in both battle and society, a strategic philanthropist whose wealth uplifted communities, a timeless example of faith, humility, and ethical leadership. His legacy transcends centuries, inspiring both the Muslim community and humanity at large. True greatness is not in riches alone, but in the combination of courage, faith, generosity, and integrity.
Have you ever thought about what makes a life truly immortal? Not in monuments or money, but in hearts and minds. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu lived such a life. A companion of Prophet Muhammad whose courage, faith, and generosity left an eternal mark. He was not just a man of wealth, he was a man of vision. Wealth became a tool to uplift communities. Faith guided every decision. Leadership served humanity, not personal ego. Imagine if a modern billionaire combined resources, influence, and morality with his level of devotion. Could the impact be even greater than all material accomplishments? Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf sets a benchmark not only for Muslims, but for anyone who seeks a purpose-driven life. The ultimate legacy he left was multifaceted. Spiritual, he remained a devout servant of Allah until the end. Social, his support strengthened Medina's society, helping Muslims thrive. Economic, his strategic management of wealth ensured long-term community stability. Ethical, his actions always reflected honesty, humility, and integrity. Even centuries later, scholars and leaders reflect on his life to derive lessons in faith, leadership, and philanthropy. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf demonstrates that true greatness combines wealth, strategy, generosity, and faith.
Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiyallahu anhu teaches timeless lessons. Wealth is a trust. Every coin should serve a purpose beyond personal gain. Generosity multiplies the impact of resources. Ethical management creates a lasting legacy. Courage is multidimensional. Not just bravery in battle, but courage to act morally, ethically, and strategically. Courage to leave comfort for faith, to support community, to face challenges with wisdom. Leadership is service. Leadership is measured by upliftment, not status. True leaders serve people, guide ethically, and empower others. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf exemplified leadership rooted in faith. Faith guides decisions. Wealth, influence, and strategy alone are insufficient. Faith ensures that every action aligns with higher purpose. He made decisions that served both material and spiritual growth. Even today, his life provides a blueprint for modern challenges. Entrepreneurs can learn the balance between profit and ethics. Leaders can learn how to empower communities sustainably. Philanthropists can understand that generosity multiplied by strategy creates lasting impact. Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf stands as an example. Courage in trials, generosity in wealth, leadership in society, humility in every action. Reflecting on his life inspires a question for every listener. If you had the wealth, resources, and opportunity, would you use them as wisely, as generously, and ethically as Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf? This is not just a story of the past, it is a call to action for today. To measure success not in accumulation, but in impact. To ensure every action uplifts others. To align resources, strategy, and faith in a purpose-driven life. By the end of part 6, Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf emerges as a timeless role model for courage, faith, and ethical leadership. A man whose wealth served society and faith, not ego. An eternal inspiration for how to live a life of purpose, impact, and generosity. His life proves that true legacy is not measured in money alone, but in the lives you touch, the principles you uphold, and the faith you serve.